Hello, I'm here with Wai Weng Choy, who is the General Manager APAC of Fedrigoni Self-Adhesives. We've known each other for many years, so it's a real pleasure to see you again.
Yeah, likewise. Pleasure is mine.
So, my first question would be, how has the show been so far for Fedrigoni?
Well, I would say that although the hall is smaller in terms of number of halls for this particular exhibition, but I see that the inflow of crowds are still pretty promising. In fact, in the whole morning, I've been seeing a lot of new inquiries, new customers coming in to ask for more and more products, information and all that. So I would say the response is very positive. Yes, very positive.
And have you seen, obviously, most of the customers here, converters are Chinese, but have you also seen converters from outside mainland China?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's pretty obvious that we see a lot of customers coming in. At the same time, we also have Korean, Japanese, but I would say that probably some of other countries are also coming in. It's just that could be a different timing, that's all. So I see a few from the Middle East as well. So in general, I would say it's a pretty good combination of different types of visitors for these sessions. Yeah.
So obviously, when Fedrigoni is right at, in terms of the quality levels, is right at the top of the game in a Chinese market, which has always been seen as a very price sensitive market. So how do you market your papers in a Chinese market?
Right. I think you asked the right questions. In fact, for us, we focus a lot on value adding into our products, because we realize that if you continue going into commodities, eventually you are going into a vicious cycle. It's the customer only look at price, and price. But for us, not only that, we look at the functionality, we look at sustainability issues, we look at how we can use our product to add values to our customers, even on the application part of it. So that is how we see our product is selling very well, not just in China, but also in South Asia, Oceania countries as well. So now, one of our key policies is that we need to help our customer to make more profit by using our products. So this is always the key reason how we are being so successful in the past few years. Yeah.
And are your end customers, the final customers, are they mainly the global brands or also increasingly Chinese domestic brands?
Well, if you talk about in China, I would say that we have almost half-half, like 50% from the local brand printers, and also we have another 50% that is considered as a global brand. But in terms of is there any gap in between, I would say that the gap is getting closer and closer. So if you ask me what would be the gaps, I would say that the awareness of international requirements, the local printers, the local customers are actually getting more and more advanced in that sense. I would say they are catching up. So, for example, like the understanding of sustainability, the understanding of using recycled material and things like that, I constantly seeing a lot of inflow of questions and requirements asking for this sort of products, even for the local brand printers. So I would say that it is they are actually catching up.
Yeah. So there's a requirement here for education, for example, in buying from sustainable source and finding the right certification.
Right. I think on this particular topic, I would say that we still have a lot of work to do to sort of educate the industries, especially for the local market. For example, let's talk about EcoVadis. This is a wonderful certification, but if you go to talk to local printers, they may not even understand what is EcoVadis. But in the actual fact, they are already doing the similar kind of operations like what the EcoVadis is certifying them to. But they just do not know the resources, how to get themselves certified and things like that. So I would say that we need to bring up the awareness. Both you and yourself and myself, we both have responsibility to sort of continue pushing the market into understanding, how to sustain the environment and the entire ecosystem as well.
Right. I think that probably most people globally see Fedrigoni as being a European-based company, but can you tell us something about your operations here in China? I understand you have the full production line here in China as well.
Sure. Well, I would say that Fedrigoni is still very much European culture in terms of wanting to strive for excellence. In terms of, for example, let's say engineering, the artistic part of it, aesthetic outlook of our product, So that kind of culture kind of inbuilt into our operations and also our products. However, I would say that we are also taking quite a fair bit of benefits from the local culture and competitiveness, especially as a supply chain, inbuilt into or combined into a wonderful combination. And at the end of the day, we are able to come up with a product that is a combination of a good European culture and at the same time using the efficiencies and supply chain of the local market to give more values to the customers. This is how we see it, yeah.
Excellent. You're responsible for the entire APAC region. How is China different from for example, the ASEAN part or the Australian markets?
Well, we do not need to go so far. In fact, China itself, the market is totally different. I'm talking about competitiveness, competitive environment. Even China itself is different from Southeast Asia, although they are so close together. In terms of intensity of competition, China is the highest level, because as you know, all the raw material suppliers, all the upstream suppliers, they are all within China. So, and rightfully and logically, all our competitors, so-called the same industry quoters, they are able to access to all these resources. And that's why, in terms of competition, we cannot always compete purely on cost, but more on values, more on added values and how we benefit the ecosystem using our products. So that's why in the last couple of years, we sell less and less products, paper products, but we increase a lot on our filmic products. In fact, right now we have more than 80 to 90% of filmic products, even premium. We premiumize our products on a yearly basis. So that's how we are able to generate more and more customers, especially those who has a lot of requirements as a global setting. Yeah.
And going forward, how do you see the China market developing, say, over the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, that's a very good question, because in the last couple of years, they do see a little bit of a slowdown. I mean, slowdown doesn't mean that it doesn't have a positive growth. It is just not as much as fast as before. But I would say that there are still a lot of opportunity for the premium products to hit to the market. Mainly because if we do not add values, eventually, again, we will go into the vicious cycle. And sooner or later, there will be some number of coating plants not able to sustain. So at the end of the day, you still come back to the sustainability issues. Right. So I think this competition is also giving a positive pressure to the entire industries, so that all of us are actually working together to create a better ecosystem for the entire label industry. That is what I'm seeing as a positive part of it right now.
Sure, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure talking to you again, and hope to see you at future Labelexpos as well. Have a good show.
Thank you.
Thank you.